Hey, it's spooky season, anime friends. So let's get into some spooky, scary, horror, gory filled anime that we can watch in the month of October. However, hold up, if you're a scaredy cat like me, who can't even walk 2 feet in the dark, let alone watch some scary anime, that's okay, because we're going to do spooky anime light edition. So I'm going to be talking about anime that is not super scary, but just dark and interesting enough to catch your attention without being like too much. So grab your pumpkin spice lattes and let's get into the show. So I split up this week's anime tea into 3 different sections. So the first one's going to be the gory section, where we talk about a few gory anime. So I mean violence, blood, all that. Next up's going to be thriller, and lastly I'm going to talk about some regular horror mixed with comedy. First up is Magical Girl Raising Project. So if you've watched Madoka Magica, you know that the magical girl genre can get really messed up. Like, it can go there. And Magical Girl Raising Project basically does the same thing. I call it the twisted, demented, more gory version slash stepsister of Madoka Magica, because it gets really deep and the deaths hit a little bit harder, I feel like, than Madoka Magica's. But yeah, so basically what it's about is a bunch of girls go online and play this game called Magical Girl Raising Project, and the game says that if they follow the rules and follow all the guidelines, then they'll get to become real magical girls. Well, as we learned in Madoka Magica, don't listen to cute little animal things, especially in video games, that tell you that you can become a real magical girl, because guess what? You're probably gonna die trying to become a real magical girl. Like, the characters never learn. So we follow this one character. I'm just gonna call her Snow White because that's her magical girl name, and she basically gets the power, or asks for the power, to hear people who are in trouble from really far away so she can go help them, which is a very sweet, innocent, like, magical girl power to have, like perfect for the protagonist of the series. But yeah, but she's the main one, but there's a ton more characters, some that are going to be really memorable, you're going to root for, and they're probably going to die anyway, and then other ones you're probably not going to root for so much, and they might live. But there's a lot of characters, and most of them may not survive the first or second episode. So don't get too attached. What's also great about this anime is that the animation is really crisp and clean. It's really pretty and bright and sparkly. It's different from Madoka Magica's, because Madoka Magica focused on like mixing 2D and like fluid animation with like paper cutouts, and like it was really like experimental. So yeah, like I said, there's lots of gore, lots of death. You're probably gonna scream at your TV once or twice when your favorite character dies, like I did. It's only 12 episodes and it's available on Crunchyroll, so super easy to watch. So get on that, and let's move on to the next recommendation. So next up in our gore category is the anime Another. Another is basically about this boy named Koichi who moves to the small town, to a middle school, where he meets this girl named May. And the weird thing about May is that no one else in the school can see her or talk to her. So basically he thinks that she's a ghost, and he ends up finding out that the entire town, well, mainly the school, but it ends up being the entire town, is cursed with this curse. Woo, okay. But that causes like really senseless deaths, like on accident. So there's a bunch of like crazy accidents and people are dying left and right for no good reason, and it's pretty fun to watch. If you really want to see people get impaled by umbrellas, stab themselves in the throat, get slammed into the bottom of an elevator that's dropping 10 stories, Another might be for you. And Another on Crunchyroll, Go watch it for spooky season. Anyway, let's move on to the next section. Thriller is probably my favorite category of spooky anime because it's usually not super scary. Thriller can be really anxiety ridden, like it'll bump my anxiety up, but it won't like make me afraid to go to the bathroom at 1 in the morning. So yeah, but let's start off with this year's probably most popular thriller, The Promised Neverland. The Promised Neverland came out January of this year. I know it feels like 3 years ago, but it's still January, it's still 2019. So the plot of The Promised Neverland is basically these kids, they live in an orphanage with this mother caretaker figure. Like none of the kids are related, they're all orphans. And yeah, they're living their best lives, they're playing tag every day, they're eating really, really good food. They got their mom loving on them, so they're living their best life. But one day, one of the kids gets sent up for adoption. So basically, every once in a while kids get sent up for adoption, you know, like an orphanage, you know. So they leave the home, and this one little girl, her name's Connie, she gets taken, you know, she gets adopted. So the mom takes them out to get her adopted. Well, come to find out, she left her little bunny behind, which is sad. So Emma and Norman, two of the main characters of the show, decide to go give her bunny. So, you know, they walk out the gate, go all the way to the front, and then they find out that no one's there, they don't see anything, and all of a sudden they hear people talking, and they see these giant demons, like like the scariest creatures you'll ever see, just coming out of the woodworks with their gnarly little fingernails and shit, and their weird ass faces. So they're just talking. So Emma and Norman hide, and when they hide, they find out that, guess what? Their cute little friend Connie is dead. She's gone. She got X's in her eyes. She's out. She's finished. Like, she dead. So imagine just, you know, you're like, oh, I'm gonna give my friend her bunny. Then you find out that the freaking outside world has demons, that they're gonna eat you, and like they're gonna kill you and eat you. And on top of that, your mom, the person who you're supposed to love you and take care of you, she willingly gives the children to the demons. So, like I said, what's great about this show is the tension building, how they like slowly pull out the anxiety and tension in each episode. The cliffhangers are deadly. I honestly felt like watching it when it first came out, like week by week, was better because it built up that tension and anxiety in a really good way. Now you can just binge it and you'll just be stressed the whole episode, the whole 12 episodes. But it's worth it. So give that a try. That's on Hulu, Funimation, and Crunchyroll. Next up is Future Diary. So Future Diary follows Yukiteru, who's a loner high school boy who spends all his time on his phone. Sounds like me and everyone else in this generation. But what's special about this, because it's an anime, some random god named Deus Ex Machina comes out and says, hey, you got a phone, you write shit in it, now you're gonna be thrown into this crazy competition thing where basically you're gonna have to use your phone to tell the future and murder everybody else in the competition in order to win. So doesn't that sound like fun? So yeah, so he's thrown into that. It's crazy to see everyone fight and try to live and using their phones to tell the future, because when they tell the future, sometimes they can see if they're gonna die or if they're gonna kill someone or if someone else is gonna get murdered. So it's crazy. A popular person from the show is Yuno. Yuno is like the definition of yandere, like someone who loves a lot but very violently. Like they'll literally kill other people in order to be with the person that they love. So that's, you know, she's great. And you can find it on Hulu and Funimation. Go watch that. It is a little bit gory, but mainly thriller based, just finding out who's gonna die and who's gonna get killed by, you know, in what episode. So yeah. Lastly is the horror comedy section. So this last anime is a mixture of horror and comedy. and it's great. It's called Ghost Stories. If you've never watched Ghost Stories dubbed in your life, you need to do it this month. You need to do it like today. Like after this video, you should go watch this because it's great and terrible at the same time. So basically, it's ghost story, so it's about ghosts. It's a horror anime about this girl who moves, her girl and her brother and her dad who moved to this small town where their mom used to live. Their mom passed away, and then the girl goes to the same school as her mom, finds out she has a book there that she wrote about spirits that she helped capture and release to the spirit world. So the girl finds the book, she goes into the creepy old school building, there's ghosts there. Her and a group of friends basically work on putting all these demons and spirits and stuff back into the underworld. I feel like they kept the premise the same, but of course just the way they act is totally ridiculous.
When he died, I was so sad that I would never hear that voice again. His laugh. His funny little requests.
Touch me.
His reprimands.
Touch me harder.
It's really funny. The stories are actually kind of creepy. When I was a kid, I was really creeped out by it because there was like actual ghosts that were really scary and this doll thing that came after people. But yeah, all that, which was pretty frightening. But as an adult looking back and watching it again, it's just really funny and stupid and hilarious. And I actually get all the jokes and references that they were making because as a kid they flew over my head because I didn't know certain things. But now I do. So go watch that if you have a good sense of humor. It's hilarious and it's not scary at all. It's actually probably great to watch on Halloween with a date or somebody and have fun. And that's it for this week's anime tea. I hope you go watch some of those spooky anime. Please like and subscribe and look at the description below to see the link to my podcast. You know, subscribe to that too. And follow me on Instagram at @theanimetea and Twitter @theanimetea. I'll see you next time, guys. I hope you have a good spooky night. Bye!